All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday, halfway through this odd week. And let's get started into checking your challenge questions. Remember, the focus here is, hey, I got that one wrong. What did I do wrong? The focus here is to build from any mistakes that we may have had. And so far, I'm not seeing anyone that got them all right. So let's dive into it. A, subtracting with decimals. Well, when we subtract with decimals, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the decimals are lined up. So we have 53 and 85 hundredths, and we're going to take away from it 32 and 5 tenths. So 53 and 85 hundredths, and sorry, gotta get this camera right. And then we're going to take away from it 32.5. So the 32 has to be over here. This way, now everything is lined up. So remember, we have the top number, we're losing the bottom. So if I have 5 and lose nothing, because that's what's there, nothing, there's 5 left over. If I have 8 and lose 5, there's 3 left over. Keep my decimals. I have 3, I lose 2. 1 left over. I have 5 and lose 3. 2 left over. Look, we got to subtract everything without having to borrow once. That's great. Ooh, classification though. Well, we have this goofy looking figure. It's kind of shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Remember, these are all the same symbol because it's telling us, hey, if you were to measure it, this is the same as this, which is the same as this, which is the same as this. But there is a symbol missing. The symbol missing is this, which tells us that that angle, if you were to measure it, would be 90 degrees, which is called a right angle. And it's not there. There's no right angle. So classifying this, well, let's go piece by piece. Is it four-sided? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, sirree, Babarooski. Is it a rectangle, meaning it has 2 pairs of equal sides? These are equal, sure. And 4 right angles. Ooh, we just said this does not have 4 right angles. Is it a trapezoid, meaning there's exactly 1 pair of parallel lines? Well, I see that these are parallel because if I were to draw a line, they're never going to run into each other. And then these 2 are parallel as well. If I were to draw a line, they're never going to run into each other. So therefore, this is actually a parallelogram. And a parallelogram means there's 2 pairs of parallel lines. And a trapezoid, nope, there's exactly 1. So it's not a trapezoid, it is a parallelogram. Is it a rhombus? Are there 4 equal sides? Yes, there are 4 equal sides. And then a rhombus with 4 right angles is a square, but this does not have 4 right angles, so that is a no. This one probably frustrated you guys a little bit. And the only reason I added it is because it looks like something that we would totally see on M-Step. So we have a blank number, and it's smaller than another blank number, and this one's even smaller than this one. So all we have to do is put these in order. So if this first box is A, the second box is B, and the third box is C, I have to put the smallest amount there and the biggest amount there. So we have 3/5, 2/3, and 3/10. So first I'm going to determine which one's larger out of 3/5 and 2/3. So 3/5, 2/3. Remember, you can compare like this. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 3 is 9. This one is larger. So I know this one's larger, so now I'm going to look at which one's larger, 2/3 or 3/10. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. 10 times 2 is 20. So 2/3 is bigger than 3/10. So now I got to figure out which is bigger, 3/10 or 3/5. And a lot of you guys already know 3/5 is definitely bigger because 3/10, they both have 3 and tenths are smaller pieces. But 5 times 3 is 15, 10 times 3 is 30, boom. So let's try to make sense out of all this. Now look here again. 3/5 we said is definitely bigger than 3/10. So right now this one's our smallest one. Okay. Now the question is, well, what about 2/3? Is 3/10 smaller than 2/3? The answer is yes, for sure. So this is the smallest, and the smallest would go where A is because A is smaller than B and B is smaller than C. So 3/10 would go where A is. Now I want to find the biggest one. Well, it's just between these two, and we said 3/5 and 2/3. 2/3 is bigger than 3/5. So 2/3 is C, because C is the biggest. So 2/3 is C, and that means the middle one, the one right in the middle, would be 3/5. Frustrated? Yeah, I bet you are a little bit frustrated. That was pretty tough. This is the part of the math where I see if you guys are watching it. I see this kite right here. This is Benjamin Franklin. He looks all excited and stuff. You know what we'll do? If you're paying attention, you will be able to tell me $100 bill. Okay. That makes sense because I see Benjamin's face right there, though. And he makes me think of $100 bill. So if you're paying attention, you'll be able to tell me $100 bill. I think they should have had a kite in the $100 bill. Isn't that a good idea? All right, this fun one. I bet you there are people out there that thought this one was fun. You think I'm crazy? I bet you there are. Divided by 12 plus 72 divided by 8 minus 9. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is any multiplication or division because there's no parentheses. So here's a multiplication, and then here's a division, and then here's a division. So the first one we would do is 6 times 4 because remember, you do them from left to right when they're the same, when they're both, multiplication and division are the same importance, so left to right. 6 times 4 is 24. So now I'm going to rewrite it. Even though I don't want to rewrite it, I'm still going to rewrite it because I know I have a better chance of getting it right. So now I rewrite it with 24 representing 6 times 4. Now I look at my new problem. My new problem, well, I have, remember, you always divide and multiply before you add or subtract. Aha! So 24 divided by 12. Well, if I have 24 and 12 people are splitting it, it's 24 12s. What is 24 12s? 2. So now I have 2 plus 72 divided by 8 minus 9. What's next? This one's next right here. What is 72 divided by 8? Ooh, well, I know 8 times 8 is 64, and 8 times 9 is 72. 2 plus 9 is 11, and 11 minus 9 is 2. So that entire problem simplifies down to 2. Now I have this problem right here. I tried to make the numbers larger for you, and I'm sorry if it actually made it more complicated, but I figured here you might get some numbers mixed up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I break this into 2 separate figures. How am I going to do that? I'm going to break it right here. Now I'm going to kind of look at my figure. Okay, so I have 2 I want to find the base. And the base has a twin right here. So it's 2 by 7. So the base is 14. It has an area of 14, and 14 goes up and down 2. So therefore, the volume of this is 28. And then over here, this has a twin. Remember, the base is down here. It's just invisible. And it's 8 by 4. It'd be 4 by 8, which is 32. And then that gets multiplied by 5. So what is 32 times 5? Well, remember my 5 trick. My 5 trick is take half of this number, which is 16, and then multiply 16 by 10. 160. It's 160. So we have an area, or I'm sorry, a volume of 160 here, and a volume of 28 here. And I add those together, and I get 188. Is it just 188? No, it's 188 centimeters to the third power, or cubed, because it's a three-dimensional object. Let's make sure I made no mistakes. Yes, 12 out of 12. All right. Make sure you fill out the homework check, and I will see my group at 2:50. Bye, guys.